Roman Legion-Hare is a pretty great title. This is a Warner Brothers cartoon featuring Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam. And there were things about this that I liked, mostly the animation, but the actual narrative, while interesting enough, didn't thrill me too much. This is set at the Colosseum, and Emperor Nero, who is brilliantly animated, really interesting design, announces that he has run out of victims. So he orders Yosemite Sam to go and fetch him a victim, and Yosemite Sam comes across Bugs Bunny. And then the rest of the cartoon is all about Yosemite Sam trying to get Bugs Bunny back to Emperor Nero so that he can be thrown to the lions. Will he succeed? I'm not going to say what happens, of course. The concept I thought was interesting enough, having Emperor Nero as this animated character. As I said, I really liked how he's animated, but it's not what I envisioned. I hadn't actually read the description of this before I watched the animation, but kind of after the fact I thought about it, and that's not how I would have animated that character. Not that I'm an animator, but the point is, he looks different to what I was expecting, but it still worked. It still really worked very well. And Yosemite Sam's outfit is fabulous. I think the way the characters are animated is brilliant. I love the costume designs. Visually, the Colosseum looks gorgeous. Everything looks stunning. And there were some bits of the narrative that I really enjoyed. I won't spoil too much, I'll just explain this one little bit, which doesn't spoil the development of the narrative, but there's one bit where Yosemite Sam and the rest of the troops are kind of marching forward, and Bugs Bunny casually just puts his giant rabbit foot out, and they all trip over. And it was just very well done, very timely, very smooth and sleek, and I really enjoyed it. And there were a few other bits in this one that were kind of similar, or made me feel very similar. But the overarching narrative was interesting. There was nothing about it that didn't work, but it was never going to be my favourite. I found the actual visual animation more interesting than the narrative, which is perfectly fine. I'm usually narrative driven, and the visual aspect is usually secondary for me with films of any genre or style. But on this occasion, as is sometimes the case with Warner Brothers cartoons, I preferred the visual quality to the actual narrative. But nevertheless, I enjoyed all of it. I would watch it again. It's never going to be a firm favourite, but I found it fascinating, very interesting. I know enough about Emperor Nero to have some kind of appreciation for the character, but I'm not completely knowledgeable. So there may be things that are inaccurate and that wouldn't make sense, and feel free to share that information if you know any of that. But I had enough knowledge to have that appreciation for it, and I thought it worked well. Roman Legion-Hare, great title, pretty decent cartoon. Needless to say, it's one that I would recommend.